beautiful morning to you once again. It is 32 minutes past 6 a.m. from the studio of Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. And we're reaching you live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alaafin Avenue, Oloyede Estate, Ibadan. Good morning and welcome to another conversation that concerns us, especially about the growth of Nigeria, our dear Nigeria. As I would always say, conversations that have to do with the growth of the nation is a responsibility of you and I, because we have to always show up and share opinions about happenings around Nigeria. We can't always just fold our arms and, act as if all is well when we know that all is not well, or maybe just decide to play the silent card. All right, so because Nigeria is our country. So good morning and welcome this morning to Perspectives Unlimited. Today, the 28th of January 2026. Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies in a bid to keep you abreast about happenings around Nigeria. We'll delve into the dailies alongside with the analyst in the studio. We will be, highlighting some of the major stories that we have across our various national dailies. My name is Toluwaleke Ali. This morning, you can watch us live on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. We're live on Facebook, and you can drop your comments as we go on the show this morning. And also, we're live on YouTube at Wells Radio 89.3 FM, at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Let's check out the front pages across some of our national dailies this morning before getting into the stories proper. Let's start with the Punch newspaper for this morning. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, Tinubu proposes 110 Court of Appeal justices, and that's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Discos blame low generation as grid collapses third time, and that's on page 23. The lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper: investigation uncovers colonel who plotted Tinubu's ouster, and it has a rider. Interim report reveals military officers targeted president, vice president, ministers, and key installations. Arrests ongoing. The story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Presidency downplays Tinubu's stumble, says Turkey visit on course, and that is on page 3 with pictorial images of the president in Turkey. Wike threatens workers as court orders strike suspension, and that's on page 7. How I lost 3-week-old daughter to Makoko demolition. That's according to a carpenter. The story can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Showere's trial. Court admits a mockery clip calling Tinubu drug lord, and that's on page 14. And those are the stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning, National Grid bounces back after crashing to 39 megawatts, and that's on page 3. Tinubu seeks Senate's nod for health bills, more judges, And the story is also on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. Still on page 3, coup apologized to Nigerians for initial denial. Falana tells military. The lead story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. ADC hosts opposition show of force, unity push ahead of 2027. And that is on page 6. Senate urged to treat food insecurity as national emergency. And that is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. 72% of Nigerian businesses tap AI to overhaul workforce. And that's on page 22. Court suspends FCTA workers' strike as Wike okays 12 billion naira for salaries. To read more on that story, check out page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Tinubu pushes defense economic ties in Turkey as aides dismiss health fears. That's on page 6. On page 7, sit at home. Traders protest as Soludo shuts down Onitsha market. The last story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. More officials quit cabinet as Yusuf launches APC e-registration exercise. And the story is on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper for this morning. Above the masthead, by-election, Fubara refutes allegation of supporting ADC candidates. And that's on page 3. CBN rejects 4.9 trillion naira OMO bids to tighten liquidity, stabilize yields. LCCI laments as National Grid collapses again, second time this year. And that is on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The lead story that can be found on the third page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning reads Tinubu seeks 110 justices for appeal court, 90 for federal high court. And it has 2 riders. Proposes electronic visual transmission of court proceedings in amendment bill. Once Oyewole confirmed as Justice of the Supreme Court. Nigeria's new economic model under Tinubu to drive higher GDP figure. That's according to IMPI, and it's on page 3 as well of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And still on page 3, Industrial Court orders FCTA workers to suspend strike. Nigeria consumes over 2.5 billion liters of sachet water annually, and that is coming from the federal government, and it's on page 13. Why we are offering sustainable livelihoods to illicit cannabis growers. That's according to NDLEA, and it's on page 7. Tinubu stumbles in Turkey. No cause for alarm. That's according to the presidency. And it has 2 riders. Explains he stepped on a metal on the floor, lost his balance briefly. As he holds talks with President Erdogan. And that's on page 2. Protest rocks Onitsha over main market shutdown. And it has 2 riders. Soludo deploys security operatives to enforce order. Anambra lawmakers back governor, says state loses 19.6 billion naira every Monday. To read more on that story, check out page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And finally, on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper for this morning, primary school teacher awarded 50 million naira, house, car. And that story is on page 36 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Questions as National Grid collapses 3 times in a month. And that's on page 27. Petrol hits 880 naira per litre as Dangote adjusts price. And that's on page 6. Nigeria, Turkey sign pact on counter-terrorism. The story begins on the front page and continues on pages 3 and 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Sit at home, traders protest Onitsha market closure, and that's on page 10. Nigeria under Tinubu worse than military regime. That's coming from Atiku, and that story is on page 14 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Suspected fraudster allegedly kills a friend over $1,000. That's on page 25. And the final story on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. Strike continues. FCTA workers tell Wike. And that story is on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper for this morning. All right, once again, welcome. If you're just joining, this is Perspectives Unlimited right here on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. And like I said, we're live on Facebook. You can drop your comments right there at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. We're live on Facebook. Drop your comments and we'll be sure to take them this morning. And we're also live on YouTube at Wells Radio 89.3 FM. At Wells Radio 89.3 FM. All right, let us begin. Of course, joining me in the studio this morning is our analyst, Chukwemeka Monachiso. Good morning, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Tolu.
All right, let's begin from the story in the Daily Trust newspaper. Nigeria, Turkey sign pact on counter-terrorism. Nigeria signed fresh security agreements with Turkey to help in its fight against insecurity. It was gathered that 9 agreements were signed between Turkey and Nigeria on Tuesday in the presence of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The agreements were signed following one-on-one and delegation-level meetings at the presidential palace in Turkey's capital, Ankara. The two sides signed several agreements and memoranda of understanding covering cooperation in diaspora policy, media and communication, higher education, halal accreditation, military cooperation and cooperation with diplomatic academies. Both sides also adopted a joint declaration establishing the Joint Economic and Trade Committee, JETCO, while pledging support for Nigeria's fight against terrorism. President Erdogan said Ankara revealed options for closer cooperation in military training and intelligence during talks with President Tinubu. The president is on an official visit to Turkey from January 26 to 28, during which two sides are expected to sign cooperation agreements and hold meetings with business and defense industry leaders to deepen strategic ties. The president has continued, his engagement with the international community to ensure that Nigeria gets more than enough investment here, as different engagements with different countries all over. And so, despite the concerns that were raised by Nigerians yesterday as a result of the video that went viral of the president stumbling in Turkey, still the president has been able to, sign agreements, especially on counterterrorism with Turkey. What does this mean for us as a nation?
You see, I'm not going to talk about the president's stumbling in Turkey. Anybody can stumble. When you don't look very well, you can stumble. There's no big deal in the president stumbling. He's a human being, anybody can stumble. But if Nigeria wants to engage with the international community, we must engage with countries that is going where we want to go. We must not just because we want international engagement get involved with countries that have a lot of baggages. You understand? We went to St. Lucia. The president went to St. Lucia sometime last year. What is St. Lucia known for? If you check the history of St. Lucia, what do we stand to gain from St. Lucia? Now we are in Turkey. And Turkey is a good example of how leaders weaken secularism, concentrate power, and criminalize opposition with a political model that looks within something that looks like democracy. Turkey is not a good example for Nigeria. I'm telling you, because if you look at Turkey, it started as a secular state. Go and check the history of Turkey. It started as a secular state. Eventually, it degenerated into using Islam as a state narrative, as an instrument of cohesion and moral, as a legitimacy. So it is not a good example for us. What bilateral relationship are we going to have with Turkey, where opposition is criminalized? Go and check the history of Turkey. Go and check the political as a landscape of Turkey. It appears to be democratic, but it's not. So there is nothing we gain from Turkey. Check why countries in the Middle East, why they are very, very skeptical in dealing with Turkey as a country. And we are romancing Turkey. What do we stand to gain from Turkey? Now, this man, Erdogan, under him, go and check what opposition has become in Turkey. This man, the mayor of Istanbul, Ekrem Imamoglu, was arrested, detained, and most of the opposition figures, where are they today in Turkey? Is that the country we want to model after? No. Erdogan came to Nigeria in October 2021. We say we are paying back the visit. How many years? So what do we stand to gain from Turkey? That's the question. You don't just wake up and go to a country and we say we are signing bilateral. Has he been able to solve its own problem of terrorism in their own country? Because if you have a problem and you want somebody to help you, look at how the person has even solved his own problem. But look at what Turkey is doing. In Turkey, democratic institutions exist, but they are weakened. Is that what we want to copy? If that is what we want to Turkey, good. But that is not a good model. Turkey is not a good model for Nigeria. We must not just wake. Good. There are so many countries we can borrow something from. So many countries, not a place like Turkey. We just want to go there, sign bilateral, and say what are we bringing from Turkey? St. Lucia we went to, what do we bring from St. Lucia? Nothing. So it's not. So that's why I'm not talking about the president stumbling. That is normal. But what does Nigeria stand to gain from any bilateral relationship with Turkey, knowing full well the history of Turkey and what Turkey stands for in the Committee of Nations?
So the counter-military
training
that...
Look, Turkey is not a good place for us to be. If you check, if we look at the history of Turkey, political landscape, everything that has to do with Turkey, many countries are wary of having to do with Turkey, and they deal with them with a long spoon. So which agreement are we signing with them? Where institutions are weakened. Erdogan has been in power for how long? You weaken the opposition, you weaken the institution. Most of the opposition figures are nowhere to be found. And is that a country we want to emulate? We don't just we can't just wake up and say the president has traveled to a country. We go and sign, but on what ground? What are we really going to get from having anything to do with Turkey? That's the question. Because a state where institutions of the state have been weakened, and there's nothing, and they every day go and check, go and read it up. You will see it there. So it's not a good place for us to be. If we want to engage international communities, let's look for countries that is going where we hope to be, not countries that we are even better than. We are even struggling to. Here we still have. We talk of press freedom. We talk of how is the press freedom in Turkey? How is it? We are talking of weakening of state institutions. How is it in Turkey? State institutions are weakened, unless you look like democracy, but it's not democracy. Is that what we want to copy?
All right, let us move on to other stories this morning. To the Punch newspaper, the lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Investigation uncovers colonel who plotted Tinubu's ouster. I'll take some of that story. Interim report, that's the writer there, reveals military officers targeted president, vice president, ministers, and key installations. Arrests ongoing. An interim investigation report into the alleged coup plot against President Bola Tinubu's government has revealed that a clandestine network of military officers, coordinated by an army colonel, whose name has been withheld, had planned to take over with funding, recruitment, and operational planning traced directly to him. The report, cited by the Punch newspaper on Tuesday, indicated that the army officer, whose repeated failures in promotion reportedly fueled his dissatisfaction, mobilized like-minded officers across the army, the navy, and air force, signing them to survey critical national installations, including the presidential villa, major barracks, and international airports. In October 2025, the DHQ announced the arrest of 16 officers over acts of indiscipline and breaches of service regulations. And shortly after, it was reported that officers ranging from the rank of captain to brigadier general were arrested by the Defense Intelligence Agency for holding secret meetings to topple the government and linked with the alleged plot to the cancellation of the October 1 Independence Day parade. At the time, the then Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tuko Guso, retired, dismissed the report as an attempt to create tension and distrust, stating the matter was a purely internal disciplinary issue. Now, providing an update on Monday, the new Director of Defense Information, Major General Samaila Uba, stated that a comprehensive investigation had now been concluded in accordance with established military procedures, and then the report has been forwarded to appropriate superior authority. But in the interim investigation report, the indicted colonel was described as the alleged coordinator of the plot. Now, in the Guardian newspaper, human rights lawyer Femi Falana SAN has said that the military ought to apologize to Nigerians for it's earlier denial of a coup plot. Now, if you remember last year, there was, a news circulating online, and the military came out to deny and say, no, there was no coup plot of any sort. And now making a U-turn to say, yes, it happened. Some people plotted it, but we have coordinated, we have done investigation, and we found who is responsible for this.
You see,
wouldn't it have been better if they had said, yes, there was an attempt, but investigation is ongoing?
Yes, that is the way we roll here. And Femi Falana asking the military to apologize to Nigerians, it will never happen. Nigerians are not people where the government doesn't hold them in a very high esteem. I'm sorry to say this. You understand? Nigerians are not. They are just there. So if the military denied there was a coup plot in the first place, and they came out again, what happened in between? Who is fooling who? Is there truth in it? Was there even a military coup in the first place? How come you denied in the first instance that there was nothing like that? And you came out again, another person was appointed, and he came out again. Was it saying that there was a military coup in order for people to know that he is in charge? Because there are so many things you have to, the many questions we need to ask. Why are they making a U-turn right now to tell Nigerians that there was once a coup? Is it to show, to galvanize support for government? Many things are, look, you don't just read these things like this and take it to the pinch of salt. No. Look deeply. Why are they making a U-turn right now to tell us there was a coup? And some people have been arrested and arraigned. So where were they before? In between, from that last year till now, how many months? And now, are we still going to be told that there was nothing like that? Remember what happened in Kajuru when 177 people were kidnapped? People came out and said there was a kidnap going on. The police command in Kaduna State say, no, there was nothing like that. Only for them to come out again and say, oh, there was a kidnap. So what is going on? Does it mean that they just wake up and decide that, oh, this is what I'm going to say? Because there are no consequences. In a place where things are done in a normal way, the people who said there was a coup and those who said there was no coup, both of them will stand trial. Why did you say there was no coup? And why did you not turn around to say there was a coup? Even the policeman, even the police command there in Kaduna State, who said there was nothing like kidnaps, all of them will be on trial. But we let things go, and the citizens are confused. Now, many Nigerians don't believe that there was a coup. Some believe there was. So, you see, is it their fault? It's not their fault, because the government is speaking from both sides of the mouth. Government agencies, those who should tell us exactly what is going on, are not telling us the truth. Or they are not saying things that Nigerians can hold on to and say, oh, this is what they have said. Do you blame the people? Now, if you put these people on trial, everybody will begin to read a lot of meanings into it. Why did you say there was no coup? Or is it a trombone charges? We saw it in Abacha time, where they and co, they were all arrested. Here there was a coup or there was no coup. All of a sudden, people were put on trial. And they kept on denying that they didn't plan any coup. So if these people come out now and say they didn't do anything, will Nigerians believe them or not believe them? Do you blame Nigerians? You don't blame them, because conflicting reports. There was a coup, oh, there was no coup. And now people are on trial. For what? When you told us there was no coup in the first instance. If there was, then you come and apologize, but it will not happen. They will never apologize to Nigerians, because as far as they are concerned, Nigerians don't matter. It is business as usual. But
if, going by what the government is saying now, there was actually a coup at the time. What does this attempted coup mean for the democracy of Nigeria?
Tolu, I said this yesterday. Coup d'etat is not an option. It's not. I lived during the time of military coup. We wake up in the morning, I, Brigadier Susan, so person, our hospitals are now in shambles, the rules and the children, all the blah blah, they told you all the lies. And when they get into power, they do worse than the people they took over power from. Military coup is not an option. But there is a solution to military coup, not only in Nigeria, across Africa. Good governance, electoral integrity will not allow, if we have good governance, if there is credibility in our election, in our selection processes, nobody in his right sense will wake up to shoot himself into power. Even the citizens will resist it. When there is good governance and a soldier comes up to say, I, Brigadier Susan and so person, I'm taking over power, the citizens of that country will resist it. They will be on the street because there is something they're enjoying. The reason why we have coups across Africa is because of misgovernance, mismanagement, corruption, absolute corruption. That's why we have it across Africa. Go and check most of the countries that have experienced coup d'etat. Bad governance. People living larger than the country, all in the name of governance. That is why people will become disenchanted, disillusioned, and angry against what is going on in the country. And when they come up, citizens will be on the street jubilating. Why? Because the citizens see them as people who have come to rescue them, even though they are coming to do wars. That is the reason. The only way to stop military intervention in governance in Africa is electoral integrity, good governance, transparent transformational governance. People will see that you come into power, you improve the life of the people, not that you create mass army of poor people. Those army of poor people are people who will be on the street if there's a coup d'etat, because you have not been able to improve their lives. You have not been able to secure the space. That is the reason why we have the coup d'etat all over Africa, not only in Nigeria, because this one is attempted coup. It has not happened, but this is the reason why it does happen. If we have good governance, it will not happen.
All right, this is Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM. We're going to break now, and when we get back, we'll open the phone lines for you to call and be a part of the show this morning.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oloyede Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704-530-8414 or 0814-177-2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafi Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I am so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Yo, what's up? Baby, let's go!
Hey there! Want to stay connected to your favorite radio station? Follow us on social media for the latest updates, entertaining wholesome content, and behind-the-scene peaks. We're on Instagram at Wells Radio 893, Facebook Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, X Wells Radio 893. Follow our WhatsApp channel Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Get a scoop on upcoming shows, giveaways, and events. Also get to interact with your favorite presenters and share your thoughts on our posts and stories. Join the conversation and stay tuned into Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Welcome back. This is still Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM. The phone lines are open: 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-1000, or 0915-333-4893, 0915-333-4893. You can also call 0911-33-893, 0911-33-893. Drop your WhatsApp messages on 0915-499-893, 0915-499-893. And you can drop your comments on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. At Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Wells Radio.
Good morning, sir.
My name is George. I'm calling you from Oloyede.
Welcome to the show, Mr. George.
Yes. Your last discussion. Coup.
Yes, sir.
Coup issues are not handled the way they are handling this one now. Coup is a serious offense, and the way they handle it in the military. I heard Falana yesterday saying that these people should not be handled by court martial within the military circle, that they should go to federal high court. You don't hide coup. Anybody who is suspected of even hearing the rumor of any coup being planned is a victim. If you hear the rumor and you do not talk about it, and they confirm that you have heard about it before it happens, you are a victim. I don't know why we are doing things left, without doing the right thing. I pray that they should take this thing to High Court, where people will know and hear the side of those who are suspected now of planning coup. We must not forget that we are going to election next year. We should not start with this type of thing that looks as if people are being victimized. I am not saying that these people they have not planned coup or they do not plan to take over government. But let's make everything open so that the world will know that we are serious people. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your take on the show this morning, Mr. George from Ologunru. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-3333-893. Now let's come to Kagaru that we mentioned earlier. This is in a Vanga newspaper. Kagaru 177 worshippers abduction. Terrorists demand 250 million naira, 20 motorcycles as ransom. Demand 100 million naira for abducted pregnant woman, nursing mother in Ekiti. Days after the mass abduction, the village head of Kurmin Wali Ishaku Dan Azumi has disclosed that terrorists who abducted about 177 worshippers in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State have demanded 250 million naira and 20 motorcycles as ransom for their release. This came as gun-wielding terrorists who abducted a pregnant woman, a nursing mother, and 3 others in Erimokwe, Ekiti, Mobile local government area of Ekiti State, have demanded 100 million naira ransom from their families. Speaking with journalists on the phone, Dan Azumi said the demand followed the mass abduction which occurred on January 17, 2026 during church services in the community. 250 million naira and 20 motorcycles is what the terrorists who abducted churchgoers in Kaduna are presently, asking for. And again, there's also the pregnant woman who was abducted in Ekiti, the nursing mother. Those ones are asking for 100 million naira. Is it that now we just call amounts without even looking at whether or not the people
can afford it? You see, Tolu, I described terrorism, banditry as a shadow economy. And it has become an industry. And in industry, you have stakeholders, you have people who are interested in improving the industry. They put in a lot. You understand? They provide a lot of logistics for the industry to thrive. And why terrorism is thriving in Nigeria with his junior brother banditry is that the government has lost focus in fighting terrorism. There is an ongoing debate right now whether the governors have the right to grant amnesty to convicted terrorists. And another school of thought is saying that yes, governors have the prerogative of they can use their prerogative of mercy but it's wrong. Terrorism is a federal crime. It's a federal crime, and under federal crime, it is the federal government that should determine what happens to terrorists, not state governors. Because if you leave it in the hands of state governors, they will abuse it. They will not use. That's why you hear repentant people. They have repented. Governor should forgive them. You don't do that in a country that wants to make headway. You don't do that. Terrorism, just like the last caller said, coup plotting is a very serious crime. You don't treat it with kid gloves. You don't just use it anyhow you like. And terrorism is a crime under federal government. Is a federal crime. So if you take up arms, look at the amount of money they're asking for, 250 million, 20 motorcycles. That motorcycle is part of the how do I describe it now? It's part of the things that help the industry, because they kidnap people and take them away on motorcycles. Somebody called one of our programs sometime and said, why can't state governors, why can't these states ban the use of motorcycle? Because if you do, when you kidnap somebody, are you going to back the person, or you carry him on your head inside the bush? To me, as far as I'm concerned, anybody that is granting amnesty to terrorists is a facilitator of murder, kidnapping, and robbery. Because you cannot grant amnesty to terrorists who have maimed, who have killed, who have raped, and you say you want to grant. On what ground are you granting them amnesty? For what? What is their grouse against Nigerian state? What is their argument against Nigeria? What do they have? And some people will even be saying grant them amnesty, just like you do with the Niger Delta people. Niger Delta people have legitimate grounds against the state, but these terrorists you are pampering in the name that what is their argument? Are they the only one that didn't go to school? Are they the only one that didn't have jobs? Don't we have millions of Nigerian youths who don't have jobs, and yet they are not terrorists? Why are we destroying Nigeria in the name of granting amnesty to terrorists? 250 million, where are they going to get it?
Let's talk to this person. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Adedamola.
Welcome to the Shadironke.
Thank you. Yeah, concerning the insecurity, just take a look at it. When are we going to overcome this insecurity in the country? Then there are people are being killed, kidnapped, and ransom are being demanded. And the funniest part is that the government is even negotiating with us, which is not how it's supposed to be. So when are we going to overcome all this? So my own intake is that to approve state police, at least if there's a state police, all these insecurities are facing in the country will come to an end. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Adironke.
So where are they going to get 250 million? 20 motorcycles. And somebody is coming out to even nurse the idea of releasing 70 convicted terrorists. But let me ask you a question. If Nigeria is a normal country, where all of us are under the same flag, can that thing, if let's assume that we have some young men in the southwest here, which I know they cannot do, and they did this thing, we will be talking what we are talking right now. Will we be saying the same thing? Will we be talking of negotiating with them, coming out in the open to say you are negotiating with the terrorists? You will kill them, kill them, let them go to God.
Should we even have any conversation about amnesty at all for terrorists? Hello, good morning.
Good morning once again.
Good morning, sir.
One of the things that stopped the civil war was an advice from Oloyede to go on, that you cannot be fighting someone and you are supplying him food to eat. That don't give them access to food. If they are hungry, they cannot fight. These are part of the things that stopped the civil war in 1970. Now, you are supplying them motorcycles and supplying them enough money. And some of them that you have arrested and found guilty, you are setting them free. That is the reason why I said earlier that can't the states who are being terrorized ban motorcycle in their state. And again, you find out that even the government is encouraging ransom payment to these terrorists. It's not good. We are seeing these errors and we are talking about them. Can the government please listen to the masses? Are we going to be allowed to be overrun by these wicked and terrorists? Please, Nigeria, let Nigerians get up and talk concerning this bad and misrule that we are getting now from these politicians we are having today. Thank you.
No, thank you again for calling.
Where are they going to get the 250 million? 20 motorcycles. And somebody will come out now to justify this. That yes, they have been marginalized. They don't have a job. What is the meaning of all this rubbish? That's why I keep saying, where is Nigerian state going? Terrorists dictating. Look, terrorism is not It's not a matter of a conference table. No, you kill them, then let them go to a media god. You kill them. You don't negotiate with them. No sensible country will sit down and be negotiating with terrorists like we are seeing in Nigeria. You don't do that. You negotiate with criminals. You call them bandits. You call them all manner of names, and they are stealing human beings, and they are demanding 250 million, 20 motorcycles.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, West Radio. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Salem. I'm calling from Awoton. Good morning, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Thank you, Mr. Salem. Good morning.
For me, all right, God bless you, sir. You see, it's so sad that that a particular group in the north is rationalizing the amnesty proposal of a state governor. It shows in this country our incompatibility as a people. I'm sorry, nobody's speaking any division here. But why we are even bothering, why we are even pitying them the way lives are lost, the way farmers are deprived of their hard work, are deprived of their hard work, the way terrorists have turned that region into something. Yet, it seems some people are still very comfortable with it. Well, it's their right to be whoever they want to be. However, I would just like to appeal to Mr. President to please grant sufficient empowerment to regional security outfits in this country, Amotekun in the southwest, whatever it's called in the southeast. Let them carry sophisticated weapons to protect us. Because even the state police we are clamoring for, we sure even giving all the states in Nigeria authority to establish state police. We sure even with adequate equipment, some states will still fight insecurity. So they will not. So it's like, let's just move ahead, and whoever wants to remain behind, let them remain behind. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Salami.
So this selective justice, there was a guy that called one of our programs. He was caught with cartridge, this hunting cartridge. He said he spent 8 years in Krikri. 8 years. He's from the southeast. He spent 8 years in Krikri. People are brandishing AK-47 all over, wearing army camouflage, and yet people are sitting down with them. You say you are negotiating. What kind of a country is that?
Now, with the current debate and public opinion that is going on with the issue of granting amnesty to terrorists, do you see, because even the northern leaders have totally disagreed with the federal and the state governments on granting amnesty. In fact, the anger of the northern leaders, according to the Vanguard newspaper, was accentuated by the position of the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. And as the special advisor to the president on communications and publicity in the AGF's office, yesterday said that governors have power to grant such pardon because it is, a sort of clemency.
It's not. Look, this is not clemency. Look, go to the other side and see what the lawyers are saying.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Crime.
That's what I'm saying. That the fact that it now feels like it is the federal and the state government that is pushing for the amnesty. Now, what can Nigerians do, or how more can we make our voices heard so that the government will know that this is not something that we even want to hear about at all?
No, look, federal government may have its reasons for pushing for amnesty. We are going to 2027. Everybody must we want to be seen, because a government that is so obsessed with image, but you are not looking at what the damage it is causing the country. It's about the damage. It's about the loss of lives. You don't just treat people, these kind of people, with kid gloves. You kill them, kill terrorists. That's where I stand for. Kill anybody that carries arm against Nigerian state must be killed as a terrorist. Kill the person. That's the way it is done all over the world. You don't just because you want to be okay.
Let's quickly talk to this person. Hello, good morning. 30 seconds, please. We have to go.
Yes, hello,
good morning.
I will make it very snappy.
Yes, please. Thank you.
He said, that means Nigerians, who are we to cry on to? They cry on to God. Because the federal government of this country, I doubt if they have the power to curtail the executive of those bandits. Our armies are trying. If you go online, you see what the pictures posted by from the DHQ. Showing the slain, some of the slain bandits. They are trying. They are doing very well at this point in time. And we must appreciate them. But the question is this: can they all do this alone? Don't you think we need the assistance of external force like the US, like what Trump said to us a while ago? So I think that is what we needed to cause those people to cause them totally. Because it's not that I'm a prophet of doom. Things like this will keep on recurring. It's like your current gets more. It will continue to happen because what the government needs to do, it has not been done. Okay. So I think let's call on outsiders to come and help us. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Quickly in 30 seconds.
I'm Sheriff from Nara. Good morning, journalists in the studio.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Regarding the issue of insecurity, see, if you continue giving amnesty talk with those bandits and terrorists, it's like we are empowering them because that really shows that there is no consequence for wrongdoing. So, Mr. President, do the needful to crush those bandits and terrorists. He truly want to fight insecurity. That's my submission.
All right, thank you so much. It's time for us to go.
Thank you, Tolu, for having me.
All right, thank you so much to everyone who has been a part of the show today. As I would always say, the conversation about the growth of Nigeria concerns you and I. And whatever it is that we do, wherever we find ourselves, let's always ensure that we put Nigeria out there in good light. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I am Toluwaleke Ali. Have a great day at the end.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.
Is invincible.
You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred awesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred awesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. Fill your ears with awesome news. Make it do my recover you. Dance to the rhythms and all of the blues. Things that you see on 89.3, yeah. I'm a living proof with testimony. So many blessings coming easily. Things that you get on 89.3. Tune into 89.3. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred awesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go. You know the vibes when you tune into Wells Radio. Your preferred awesome radio. 89.3, they carry me go. I just follow, they carry me go.
It's Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
Magic.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oloyede Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values, with world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results. We ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704-530-8414 or 0814-177-2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
Not just another radio station. Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Broadcasting from Ibadan or your state brings you wholesome programs for you and your family.
الكثير لإسبانيول ضاعت الكرة من جانبي إسبانيول تمريرة خابئة صدمت في الدفاع رونالدو كريستيانو على اليمين رونالدو مر رونالدو عدى بمهارة